seeing them only 4. There used to be 5 of them until a few days ago, and then we found them 2 mornings since without the one, and we're still hoping that he might sort of appear. Maybe he's just lost, maybe he's just been separated from the rest of the 4, but there's a very good chance that he has fallen victim to a predator or some other fate. But the good news is that these 4 are still in healthy condition, and good news is 4 are still in healthy condition, and I think here on the edge of the thicket, looks like they may have fed, not recently, but a couple of days ago. You see how 3 of their heads are down, and the one has kept his head up, just to make sure that he stays alert and vigilant for any other predators that might be in the area. Because if they did come into contact with a predator, be it a lion or a leopard or a hyena, that was responsible for the disappearance of their other sibling, they would have learned from that and become extra vigilant in the days that have directly followed from that incident. So even though it's a tough life for cheetahs, and they face a lot of hardships, every time they do, they learn and they become more successful. Which is good to see that they're still keeping watch and vigilant, because Clayton, yeah, fingers crossed that he is okay. There is a lot of hope. I mean, I've seen cheetah cubs reunite with their mothers and siblings after 4 days of being lost, and we had given up all hope that they died. But yeah, they found each other, and it doesn't take. All that they need to do is keep looking, and that other cub will probably be calling for his brothers if he's still alive, brothers and sisters, calling, contact calling, walking around, trying to smell if their scent is anywhere in the area, and that would be the way that they try and reconnect. But yes, fingers crossed. There was one female cheetah with 3 cubs a couple of years ago on Phinda that walked one night into an area where we've been seeing a pride of lions quite consistently, and we thought, oh no, she's going to face something this evening. And the morning we just found her, and we thought that all of her cubs had been killed. And the next day she'd found one, thank goodness, and we were so happy that she'd found another one. And then the next day she found the second, and then on the 3rd day she found the 3rd. So she managed to find all of her cubs after that incident that she'd obviously experienced. She'd obviously run into lions and then maybe chased them and all split up into the bush and lost each other but found each other again. So yes, fingers crossed that they find the other youngster, but as few of them finding him becomes less and less likely, unfortunately. Yeah, but these cubs are starting to grow quite big. When we first started seeing them after the national lockdown and after we hadn't driven around the reserve for a long time, they were on their own, but they were tiny cubs, and we wondered how on earth they would be able to hunt for themselves, because they hadn't been taught by their mother. But they have proven us wrong. They've been successful, even though they don't catch big prey. They do catch small impalas. We've seen them catching small nyala, and they've managed to survive. I'm sure in between their bigger meals of small nyala and impala, they've needed to maybe survive off a couple of meals of insects, maybe a couple of frogs, just to sustain themselves. But the important thing is that they have survived till this point, and every little bit of their survival has been a learning curve. So as the longer that they survive, the better their chances are of them reaching adulthood. So Tina has asked, when will these cheetahs start to split up? And that's a good question. It's difficult to answer because this is a very exceptional case in that they're sticking together, but there's no mother to sort of guide them through life. And I think the only reason that they're sticking together now is for a sense of security, because they are still quite intimidated by being in the bush by themselves. But cheetahs normally leave their mother when they're about 2 years old, sometimes even older, sometimes earlier, but the average is 2. And these cheetah are only about 11 months, which is very, very young for them, even if they were with their mother to split up. So I think they'll probably be with each other for quite a while, possibly another year. But as soon as the males start to become sexually mature, and as soon as they start to try and mate with other females, or they feel the urge to find females to mate with, the females will also reach that age at about the same time, and they'll also go into estrus and look to seek out males. At that stage, they will probably want to sort of split up, because the two males in this foursome will start to fight over females, and the females, when the males try to mate with them, because they will, even though they're siblings, the females will want to get away from them. And that's, I think, what will eventually force them apart, is when they start to become sexually active or sexually mature. But for now, that's not what drives them. Their hormones haven't told them to start mating yet, so they're purely trying to survive. And at the moment, the best way that they're going to survive is to stick together. So Gina, it is fantastic to see them in good condition, and they seem in good condition. And if we look closely, they're skinny because they haven't eaten maybe in the last day or two, but their hip bones aren't protruding. They haven't got pelvises exposed, which you would expect to see if they were in very bad condition and they hadn't eaten in a while. They just slim like cheetahs are meant to be, and they're looking in perfect health for young cheetahs. Their fur is even and sort of not falling out, which is also a sign that they would be in bad condition. So it's positive news. It's news that tells us that they're able to hunt and they're able to sustain themselves on their own. Look at that cheetah now, he's fallen asleep. With his head, he's trying so hard to keep it upright, but it's just literally fell asleep before his head hit the floor, and he put it back up because he's focusing on keeping watch for other predators, but he's going to slowly fall asleep again, I'm sure. The other two have succumbed to sleep already. He's fighting so hard. Now his head's dropping the other way. At least there's one that's seems to be wide awake to keep watch, and that is the benefit of them staying together, or one of the benefits. There's 5 sets of eyes to keep watch for predators and also to look for prey. And so not 5, there's 4 sets of eyes. But while the 3 sleep, the one can stay awake, and that allows them to rest and to increase their chances of survival. Now all of their heads are down. we've had some strange weather. The clouds are coming over again. We might be in for some showers tonight, but for now it looks good. But I think we're going to spend some time with these cheetah. Maybe in the afternoon coolness they'll be tempted to get up and walk around, and maybe they'll hear or smell something that they'll interest them in, and they'll try to hunt. But we'll stick with them and see how it goes. But we're going to send you for now